I sat late one evening, perched on the worn wooden steps of my favorite hillside overlook, telescope resting beside me, and a well-thumbed notebook open on my lap. The quiet rustle of leaves and the soft whisper of the wind mingled with the gentle hum of distant traffic as my thoughts wandered into the realm of the extraordinary. A question, both unsettling and electrifying, had been tugging at the edges of my mind. What if reality itself doesn't exist unless observed? I vividly recalled that day when a compelling documentary and an insightful article on quantum physics revealed that particles do not settle into a defined state until observed. Stepping away from familiar grounds, I embarked on a reflective journey along a moonlit path. Each step led me deeper into the mysteries of existence, where flickering streetlights danced with the silhouettes of ancient trees, and every rustle held cosmic significance. I began to wonder if the stars themselves, scattered across an infinite canvas, remained in a state of potential waiting for my gaze to collapse their possibilities into reality. As I scribbled notes in my weathered notebook, the concept blossomed into a vivid narrative, a universe whose very existence might hinge upon our act of observation. In that moment, I realized that the question was not merely scientific or philosophical, but profoundly personal. The idea resonated with me, suggesting that my very presence could ripple through the cosmos. Thus, at this quiet hour, I set out to explore, does reality truly await our gaze to take shape? And in doing so, might it be that each of us wields a mysterious power over the fabric of all that exists? Continuing the journey of inquiry, I find myself transported to a dimly lit, quaint laboratory, reminiscent of the classic halls where pioneering minds once unraveled the secrets of the natural world. In this softly illuminated space, images of chalkboard diagrams and aging scientific texts surface vividly. I recall reading about an experiment that seems magical in its implications, the double-slit experiment. The narrative paints a picture of particles behaving in ways that defy common sense. Here, tiny electrons or flickering beams of light are cast towards a barrier with two narrow openings. If left unobserved, these particles produce a mesmerizing interference pattern on a screen behind, as if they are waves meandering in a vast ocean of possibilities. I wander through memories of ancient scientific conferences where brilliant minds debated the nature of matter. Visualizing the experiment on an old projector screen, I see tiny particles dispersing in unpredictable patterns until someone dares to measure them. At that precise moment, the dance of uncertainty gives way to a single, well-defined mark, a sudden clarity that defies the prior chaos. This unexpected behavior, where the act of observation appears to collapse multiple potential states into one definitive outcome, fills the laboratory with an aura of profound mystery. I muse on how the observer, through a simple act of measurement, seems to carve reality from the nebulous fog of quantum potential. As I walk along the corridors of time, from classical physics to modern quantum theory, I marvel at the idea that our eyes might be more than passive viewers. They could be active participants in the tapestry of existence. The double-slit experiment stands not only as evidence of the peculiar behaviors inherent in quantum particles, but also as a symbolic gateway linking the realms of science and philosophy. It gently nudges us to reconsider the fundamental relationship between observation and existence, inviting us to explore whether reality truly forms only when we choose to observe it. In that serene setting, I continue to reflect on the profound significance of observing nature. The simple act of measuring transforms blurry possibilities into the sharply defined details of what we call reality. This transition, from uncertainty to defined existence, hints at how deeply intertwined our perception and the physical world may truly be. Every brushstroke of uncertainty collapses into the vivid picture we witness, a testament to the intimate relationship between science and the human experience. Under a blanket of starlit sky in a peaceful park, I find solace on a weathered bench amid whispers of ancient trees and the soft rustle of autumn leaves. It is here that I ponder the stunning possibility that the universe may persist as nothing more than pure potential until an act of consciousness, our very act of observation, collapses it into a tangible reality. Every twinkling star overhead might be suspended in an undefined state, like a note on the cusp of a melody, awaiting the moment it is heard. I reflect on how this idea transforms our understanding of the cosmos, suggesting that matter and energy are not fixed, preordained entities, but fluid possibilities that come alive only when brought into focus by the watchful eye of consciousness. Wandering through the park's winding paths, my mind drifts to the beauty of a blooming flower whose form is as much a product of light and shadow as it is of nature's design. In this poetic interplay, the flower may represent the universe in miniature, a delicate balance of potentiality and actual existence. Just as a painter might step back to admire a nascent masterpiece gradually emerging on a canvas, our observation may serve to reveal the hidden structure of reality. There's something both humbling and empowering in this notion. We are not mere onlookers, but active participants in shaping the world we experience. The universe, it seems, is in a perpetual state of possibility, a cosmic waiting room filled with infinite potential scenarios. Each glance, each curious inquiry, might collapse these manifold probabilities into a single coherent moment that we recognize as reality. As I meander back home, the interplay between light and darkness, presence and absence, continues to dissolve the boundaries between what is observed and what exists. Accordingly, I entertain the thought that every heartbeat of our consciousness might be the spark that transforms the unseen into the seen, bridging the ephemeral gap between potential and presence. I pause at the edge of a quiet pond reflecting the shimmering moonlight, contemplating the delicate balance between what could be and what is. Each ripple on the water's surface seems to mirror the collapse of innumerable possibilities into one defined reality, urging me to appreciate the mysterious, almost magical role that observation plays in shaping everything around us. In that serene moment, potential transforms completely into the vivid actuality of being. Sitting quietly at a quaint cafe overlooking busy city streets at dusk, I am swept up in an introspective reverie that fuses the crisp edges of scientific inquiry with the soft allure of philosophical musing. The vibrant city outside seems to pulse with life, every light a small beacon of possibility. In the midst of this urban tapestry, I consider a provocative theory that our consciousness is not a passive observer, but an active creator of reality itself. I envision the streets bustling with pedestrians, each individual unknowingly contributing their perception to the unfolding canvas of the city. In the warm glow of the cafe's interior, dotted with vintage art and softly murmuring conversations, I recall earlier moments of silent wonder. As I watched the interplay of shadow and light on the cobblestones outside, I was struck by how unyielding uncertainty could give way to clarity the instant I focused my mind. It is as if the very act of observation brings order to chaos, mirroring the behavior seen in quantum-scale experiments that reveal particles assuming a definite state only when measured. This connection between inner thought and external manifestation unsettles and captivates me in equal measures. Drawing parallels to ancient philosophies and modern scientific debates, I contemplate whether the human mind may hold a power akin to creation itself. Could it be that our consciousness, through the sheer act of perceiving, selects the reality that solidifies from a multitude of unresolved possibilities? Images of surreal moments, such as watching twinkling city lights reflecting on rain-soaked streets, blend with the intellectual rigor of scientific discovery. The cafe setting, with its ambient warmth and reflective corners, becomes a metaphor for the mind's ability to illuminate hidden corners of existence. As dusk settles into night, my thoughts churn with both skepticism and wonder. I am reminded that every measured moment, every fleeting glance, might be an essential ingredient in the recipe of the cosmos. In the interplay of scientific precision and imaginative inquiry, the question lingers with quiet insistence. Is our consciousness a fundamental force shaping reality, or simply a lens through which a pre-established universe is viewed? With a contemplative sigh, I step back into the night, letting the mingled streams of logic and imagination guide me. The notion that consciousness itself might create the seen world remains an open and enthralling mystery, urging continuous exploration. I truly embrace this mystery, humbly. At the edge of a serene lake beneath a brilliant canopy of stars, I find my thoughts returning to the central enigma that has guided my journey. If the universe requires our observation to become real, who is in control? In the mirrored reflections on the water, I see not only celestial bodies, but also countless possibilities that vanish as soon as they are recognized. The night, filled with scientific wonder and poetic mystery, challenges conventional wisdom. Every shimmering ripple and silent pause speaks to the intricate dance between perception and existence. In that solitude, I feel a deep connection to the cosmos, a reminder that observing may be as powerful as creation itself. The questions raised by quantum physics and ancient philosophy merge into a single, enduring inquiry. Do we shape reality, or does reality shape us? As I watch stars trace quiet paths across the sky, I ponder the possibility that my gaze may be the key to unlocking existence's mysteries. In that moment, I embrace uncertainty and marvel at the profound role each observer plays in this cosmic tapestry. Ultimately, if the universe needs us to exist, perhaps we are its most essential architects. I stand humbled, questioning.